Knowing yourself is one of those phrases that sounds simple until you actually try to do it. And then it turns out to be one of the most challenging things you'll ever do. Not because people are unknowable, but because knowing yourself honestly requires a lot of internal honesty that's super uncomfortable in specific ways. It requires seeing the part of yourself that are inconvenient, the patterns you rather not have, the fears that run more of your behavior than you like to admit, the values you perform versus the ones that you actually show up in your choices. And most people either avoid the examination entirely or do a partial version that stops short of the uncomfortable parts. I've been trying to actually do this for a while, and what I've found is that the self I encounter when I'm truly, fully honest with myself is different ways from the self I present. Not dramatically, not in ways that would shock anyone, but different in ways that matter. I care more about certain things and less about others that I let on. I'm more scared of certain things that I act like. I'm more motivated by certain things that I'd find embarrassing to admit. My actual values, the ones revealed by my behavior rather than my statements, don't always match the values I describe if you'd ask me. And I think that gap between the self we present and the self that's actually running things is where a lot of confusion and suffering lives. Because when you're making decisions based on the presented self rather than the actual self, you keep ending up in places that feel wrong. You choose things that look like you know and feel like someone else. You build towards a version of a life that fits the story you've been telling and doesn't fit who you actually are. And you don't know why nothing feels quite right. And the answer is that you've been living slightly outside yourself, running a performance of yourself rather than an actual version of yourself. The practices that actually build self-knowledge are not complicated. They're just honest. Paying attention to your reactions to things rather than just acting on them. Asking why you feel a certain way about something rather than just accepting the feeling as information. Noticing the differences between what you say you want and what your actual behavior reveals what you really want. Spending enough time alone and in silence that you can hear your own thoughts without them being drowned out by input. Being honest in conversations rather than just agreeable. All of these things done consistently over time build an increasingly accurate map of who you actually really are. And having the map actually changes a lot of things. Not because you're becoming a different person, but because you're starting to make decisions that fit you rather than decisions that fit an idea of you. And things that fit you feel different from things that don't. They have a different quality, a different ease. Even when they're hard, they feel right in a way. The wrong things don't, even when they're easy.